She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I make more money than you. Maybe I should date someone who's on my level." I didn't argue. I smiled. "Maybe you should." Then I stopped paying for the level she thought she'd reached. That level was the luxury apartment she constantly flaunted online, the same one she couldn't have afforded without me. Her later post about downsizing by choice didn't fool a single person. I'm 38, and in hindsight I should have spotted the warning signs months earlier. Right when Jessica, 34, landed her new job. She'd just become a senior marketing director at some tech startup, earning a base salary of $125,000. To her, that number meant she'd hit the jackpot. We'd been together 4 years. Things were comfortable. I've been a senior systems architect at my company for 12 years, pulling in about $195,000 plus bonuses that usually bring me to around $240,000. Not bragging, just context. 2 years ago, when we decided to move in together, Jessica was making around $75,000. She insisted we get a downtown high-rise with a rooftop pool, a concierge, and all the trimmings. Rent was $3,800 a month. Insane, I thought. I can't justify that on my salary alone, I told her. But together we could swing it. I want a place that reflects our success, she replied. Funny thing to say for someone contributing $900 to a $3,800 lease. Still, I loved her and believed we were building something real. We split rent proportionally. I paid $2,900, she paid $900. It made sense based on our incomes. She got her dream lifestyle and endless material for her Instagram posts about city views and luxury living. Then came the new job and the personality shift. The first week, "Can you believe I'm making 6 figures now? I've really made it." The second week, "I should start dressing like a successful woman. It's an investment." By week 3, she was correcting me about tech topics at dinner parties. I've worked in tech for 15 years. She'd been in marketing for 15 days. But the breaking point came over dinner last Thursday with her new coworkers. Someone asked about our apartment. Jessica launched into her practice pitch. "It's amazing, panoramic views, marble counters, totally fits where I am in my career." Her coworker laughed. "That must cost a fortune." Jessica smiled. "Well, when you make what I make, you can afford to live well." I nearly choked on my salmon. Later in the Uber home, which I paid for as always, I brought it up. "So, that was interesting, how you talked about the apartment." "What do you mean?" she said, pretending not to understand. "You implied you're the one paying for it." She gave me a look I'd never seen before. Dismissive, superior. "I make more than most people, Nathan. $125,000 puts me in the top 20%. Right. And I pay 76% of our rent." "God, you always make it about money," she snapped. Then with a dramatic sigh, "Maybe I should date someone on my level. Someone who isn't threatened by a successful woman." I stared at her. "Jessica, I make almost double your salary." "It's not about numbers," she said. "It's about ambition, growth, mindset. You've been at the same company forever. I'm going places. The CEO knows my name." "It's a 40-person startup," I said. "The CEO probably knows the janitor's name too." She glared. "See? You can't even be happy for me." Maybe we had grown apart. Maybe she did need someone more aspirational. I looked at her. This woman I'd supported through 2 job losses, the one whose rent I covered during her finding herself phase. "Maybe you should," I said quietly. She smiled, thinking she'd won. "I'm glad you understand." That was Thursday night at 11 p.m. By Friday at 9 a.m., I was at the leasing office. Sheila, the property manager, greeted me as usual. "Morning, Nathan. What brings you in?" "I need to talk about my lease," I said. She pulled up my file. I already knew only my name was on it. Jessica's credit score had been 580 when we applied. Mine was 812. She was listed only as an authorized occupant. "I need to remove someone from the lease and give notice of termination," I told her. "Everything okay?" Sheila asked. "Relationship's ending," I said simply. "Just need to know my options." She explained. 60-day notice to terminate. Authorized occupant could be removed immediately with proper documentation. Early termination fee. 2 months rent. $7,600. Then she checked something. Actually, your lease is up for renewal in 45 days. We sent a renewal notice last month. Perfect timing. I declined the renewal right there. I asked, what if Jessica wants to take over the lease? She'd have to qualify on her own, Sheila replied. Income must be at least 3 times rent, $11,400 a month, with a 700+ credit score. Jessica made $10,416 before taxes. Her credit? Still in the low 600s. She wouldn't qualify, Sheila said flatly. I thanked her and left. Phase 1 complete. That afternoon, while Jessica was off at her fancy new job, I started hunting for my next place. A nice 1-bedroom, $1,800 a month. Still downtown, modern, comfortable. Just not Instagram bait. I signed the lease for 45 days out. That night, Jessica came home like nothing had happened. She bragged about how the CRO at her company had praised her executive presence. That's great, I said, already mentally packing. All weekend she acted detached, superior, posting on LinkedIn about knowing your worth and leveling up in all areas of life. By Monday, it was time for phase 2. Monday morning, I worked from home. Jessica left for the office wearing an $800 outfit, all charged to a credit card she could barely pay. She kissed my cheek as if everything were fine. I started with the bills. Electricity. Canceled my account. Internet. Scheduled disconnection for 45 days out. Streaming services. All mine. I deleted her profiles. Gym membership. Removed her as my guest, saved $50 a month. Then came the bigger stuff. Jessica had built an image. 6-figure marketing executive, luxury living, thriving in the city. The reality was that most of it ran through my bank accounts. Her car? A BMW leased under my name because her credit was garbage. $650 a month, which I'd been covering as part of our shared expenses. I called BMW Financial, couldn't terminate without penalties, but I could remove my autopay. The bill would go straight to her now. And since her company still hadn't given her a corporate card, she'd been using my credit card for client dinners, promising to expense them later. I canceled that card too. By 2 p.m. my phone buzzed. Jessica. My card just got declined at lunch with clients. WTF? Me must be a banking glitch. Try your debit card. Jessica. This is embarrassing. I'm with the CMO. Me, remember Thursday? You said you need someone on your level. I'm giving you space to find them. She blew up my phone, 17 missed calls. I didn't answer. When she got home, she was furious. You humiliated me, she yelled. How? I asked. By letting you pay for your own business lunch? You know I haven't gotten my expense approvals yet. Then maybe don't take clients to $200 lunches, I said. This is financial abuse. No, I told her. This is financial independence. Congratulations. You wanted to live at your level. I'm letting you. She stood there speechless. The lease is in my name, I said calmly. You're welcome to stay as my guest for the next 45 days. After that, I'm moving out. You can apply to take over the lease if you'd like. Nathan, stop being ridiculous. We can work through this. Work through you telling me I'm beneath you? I asked. She sighed, then tried the soft voice. I was emotional. I didn't mean it. Which part? I asked. The part where you told your coworkers you pay for the apartment, or the part where I'm not ambitious enough for you? Tears this time. Please, Nathan. I love you. I got carried away. Really? Then what's my actual job title? I asked. You work in tech. Doing what? Silence. You've never asked in 4 years, Jessica. I walked into my office and closed the door. That night, she called friends, loudly telling them about her insecure boyfriend who couldn't handle her success. From Tuesday through Thursday, Jessica put on a performance worthy of an award. Her social media feeds turned into a motivational speaker's greatest hits. On LinkedIn, growth intimidates people comfortable with mediocrity. Choose progress anyway. On Instagram, sometimes outgrowing a chapter means stepping into your power. On Facebook, looking for a realtor, thinking about upgrading my space. Her followers showered her with applause, having no clue she was days away from not affording a roof over her head. Reality, however, wasn't so glamorous. BMW Financial called me midweek. Sir, Ms. Walker called saying there was an issue with the payment, the rep said. No issue, I told them. She's now responsible for paying directly. But she claims she's not the leaseholder. Correct, I said. I am. And I'm simply no longer paying it. By Thursday morning, I could hear her yelling on the phone with her mom through the closed door. Mom, he's insane. He's trying to throw me out. Pause. No, it's his name on the lease. But I make $125,000. I don't need him. Then quieter. I just can't afford $3,800 on my own. After she left for work, her mother called me. Nathan, what's going on? Jessica's in tears, Darlene said. I'm just respecting her wishes, I answered. She said she needed someone on her level. You know she doesn't mean half of what she says, Darlene pleaded. She meant it enough to tell her coworkers she pays the rent. She what? Ask her about dinner last Thursday, I said. Darlene sighed. You make good money. Why does this matter so much? It's not about money, I said. It's about respect. I've spent 4 years funding a lifestyle that she pretends she built alone. That night, Jessica came home waving around printouts of new apartments. Look, she said. I found places we could move into. Every single one was over $4,000 a month. I already signed a new lease, I told her. 1 bedroom. Just for me. Her jaw dropped. Where? I told her. That's a regular building. Yes, I said. Regular is fine. But what about our lifestyle? Our. I smiled. You mean the one you've been taking credit for? She froze, realizing for the first time that I wasn't bluffing. The next 2 weeks were chaos. Jessica started apartment hunting and quickly ran into the wall of reality. The nice $2,500 places required 3 months up front, over $7,000, and her savings account had less than $2,000 in it. The $2,000 listings were far from her office, and her startup didn't allow remote work. The $1,500 studios? Unsafe neighborhoods, she said. Then keep the BMW current and live farther out, I suggested. I can't afford both. Then return the car and take the credit hit. Then how do I get to work? The bus. Her horrified expression was almost theatrical. But the real show came that Friday when one of her coworkers, Brittany, insisted on stopping by for drinks. Let's hang out at your place. I've seen your posts, it looks gorgeous, Brittany said. Jessica tried to steer her elsewhere, but Brittany wouldn't budge. Jessica spent hours frantically cleaning, staging, and lighting candles, trying to hide the half-packed boxes in my office. When Brittany arrived, she immediately noticed. Where's all Nathan's stuff? He's reorganizing, Jessica said too quickly. Everything okay? Actually, we're separating. I've outgrown the relationship. Oh, Brittany said, scanning the room. So you're keeping this place? It's amazing. I'm exploring my options, Jessica replied weakly. By Monday, she'd spun the narrative online again. On LinkedIn, choosing mindful downsizing over excess. Excited to start a new chapter focused on experiences, not square footage. The comments were full of concern. Wait, that apartment was goals. You okay, Jess? Then one person, someone who clearly knew the truth, wrote, interesting timing, considering Nathan's recent apartment hunt. Good luck with the downsizing. She deleted it within minutes. Desperate to save face, she even reached out to a high-end realtor. When the agent Todd came by, he asked for her financials. With your income, he said gently, you'd be approved for around $2,600 monthly rent. But I pay $3,800 now, she snapped. Todd glanced at the lease I'd accidentally left on the counter. This lease isn't in your name, he said carefully. Her smile faltered. And your credit score? Improving, she muttered. 620? He sighed. That will limit your options. Most luxury buildings require 700 or higher. But I make 6 figures. Yes, he said politely. Just not that kind of 6 figures. He handed her his card and left. 3 weeks in, the cracks started showing at work. First, the car payment. BMW called her at her desk. Everyone heard her try to sound confident while scrambling to explain. Then came the expense issue. Turns out her company's reimbursement process was slow, and without my credit card safety net, she couldn't cover client dinners up front. What do you mean you can't pay for it? Her CMO asked during a meeting. My personal card's having issues, she said quietly. We hired you as a senior director, the CMO replied. Senior directors can handle a dinner tab. Her confidence shattered on the spot. Then the coup de grace, her LinkedIn downsizing post came back to haunt her. Someone from her old company commented, "Funny, you also downsized from our company after your performance review." She called me in tears that night. Please make them delete that comment, she begged. I can't control what people say online, I said. You told them to post that. I haven't spoken to anyone from your old company since your goodbye party, which I paid for. Later that evening, she tried a different tactic, seduction. She lit candles, wore lingerie I bought, and whispered, "Don't you miss us? Were we ever in US?" I asked. Or was I just the sponsor of your lifestyle? She flinched. That's not fair. Then tell me 3 things about my job, I said. Something specific. Silence. My middle name? David. Alexander. My hometown? Texas. Colorado. For years, and she couldn't answer a single one. You never cared about me, I said quietly. Just the life I gave you. Her tears stopped. You're cruel. No, I said. I'm free. 10 days before move out, her family showed up, mom, dad, and younger sister, all looking like they were about to stage an intervention. Nathan, this is destroying her, Darlene began. She destroyed it herself, I said. Robert, her father, tried to be the voice of reason. Son, sometimes men have to be the bigger person. Like when she told me she needed someone on her level? I asked. Ashley, her sister, chimed in. You make plenty of money. Why are you being so petty? Petty? How much did Jess say I make? She said about $150. Try $240, I corrected. Their faces fell. She told us she made more than you, Darlene whispered. She tells everyone that, I said. Like she tells them she pays for this apartment. They had nothing to say after that. Robert finally sighed. You're leaving her in a tough spot. She put herself there, I said. I just stopped rescuing her. That night, Jessica broke down completely. My family thinks I'm a failure, she sobbed. You're not a failure, I said. You just can't afford the lifestyle you pretended to have. But that's my image. Then maybe it's time to build a new one. Based on reality. She begged for another month. Threatened, cried, even hinted at hurting herself. I called her sister to check on her. By the end of the week, she'd finally found a studio, $650 a month, 40 minutes from work. It's awful, she said. No closet space, street parking, noisy neighbors. I smiled. Sounds perfect for your level. Stop saying that, she snapped. You said it first. Moving day came. She scraped together enough for the deposit by borrowing from her parents. The BMW was repossessed voluntarily, she claimed. Her credit tanked. She now takes 2 buses to work and brings her own lunch every day. Then came the inevitable post. On LinkedIn, embracing minimalism has been life-changing. Success isn't measured in square footage, but in personal growth. The comments were merciless. Didn't you post about luxury living 6 months ago? Is this the same place from your stories? Looks smaller. Even her CMO chimed in politely. Glad you're settling into your new space. And one former coworker dropped the dagger. Remember when you said people in studios lack ambition? Growth indeed. She deleted her profile soon after. A week later, I heard from her sister. Jessica now works 2 jobs, clips coupons, and shops at discount stores. She still tells people she chose to downsize. Meanwhile, I'm living in my new 1-bedroom, modern, simple, and $2,000 cheaper than the old penthouse. I'm seeing Grace, a software engineer who makes $95,000 and insisted on paying for our second date. She knows exactly what I do for work and actually asks about it. Last week, I ran into Brittany, Jessica's old coworker. She says you financially abused her, Brittany said, half laughing. Did she mention she paid $900 toward a $3,800 rent? I replied. Brittany grinned. We figured as much. She tried to borrow $20 for lunch the other day. Jessica's still chasing the image. Joined an exclusive dating app for high-earning professionals. Her bio still says, luxury lifestyle enthusiast. And just when I thought it was over, I got a text from an unknown number. I know you'll never forgive me, but I'm sorry. I got caught up in appearances. I threw away the best thing in my life for a facade. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. She wanted someone on her level, and now she's got exactly that. Herself at her real level. Breaking that lease? Best $7,600 I ever spent.